this meeting to order. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles? Trustee Brown? Here. Trustee Burgess? Trustee Young? Here. Supervisor Dabra?
I'm here.
Here.
You all right, man?
I'm just one step ahead. She said stand for the pledge.
Stand for the I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. He's being proactive.
I was just proactive for a change.
All right, everyone had a chance to look at the minutes and find anything that needs to be corrected.
It's minor. First thing I saw, probably can do away with the last page, 505. Monee Township clerk, that's the only thing that's kind of sitting there on that page. Is there any way we can fit that in?
Yeah,
Make
sure.
it 4-4.
Sure. Yeah,
Just kind of floating there.
okay. We'll pull it
I
off.
think you could.
I think I can squeeze it in.
there.
Yeah, take the space off to get someplace.
Yeah.
And like I said, just very minor things I saw. Page 3 of 5, section 9, in the new business. The second full sentence, currently, comma, and a capital O for only,
Should be small,
small,
lowercase.
page 3 of 5. Other than that, it's
Okay, anybody else?
I don't know, should there be an S on condolences, if we offer our condolences?
Which page?
That's
To
my door
Willow?
comment, when I made the comment. Section 13, page 45, is that what you
What page you want?
4 of 5,
I just had it
section
now.
13, board comments.
It's on 4 or 5.
Section
Trustee
13.
Brown offer condolence.
I just want to have my condolences, I don't know that.
That's more than one condolence.
So condolence, you want an S on the end of it?
No, I'm just
Condolences?
asking, I don't know.
That'll probably sound better, to offer condolences to, right? So I would say yes. All right, is there anything else?
Well, I just might, well, since this is another little technical thing that I think we should have, but page 2 of 5, at the top, general assistant, the second bullet item, it has total amount of general assistant GA with a little slash, the dollar sign, so there's a gap there as opposed to the number 2625. You got 1960 with the dollar sign, just a.
Oh, I'm missing a
space.
$sign. No.
Well, you actually
$sign
have it
there.
just a space, it's just which way we want to do it. You got the number right below with the dollar sign. You see it, Bobby?
Yeah. You all no space?
Well, either way, just
Okay.
be consistent, I guess.
Okay, I'll put no space in it.
Okay, that's it.
Okey-doke. Anything else? Okay, so there's somebody who wants to make a motion to accept the minutes as corrected.
I motion that we accept the minutes as corrected.
Second by Terry. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Dabra?
Yes. Okay, public comments. You stand and state your name and where you are. Or wherever you are.
My name is Chad Simpson. I'm the president of the Maverick Football and Cheer Organization in Monee. I just wanted to come by just to give you a brief update on us. All our football levels, they received a bye in the first round of the playoffs, so they got to automatically go to the second round. Our JV team took first place in their division for the regular season. Our lightweight team took second, and our super lights took fifth, and our varsity was in a three-way tie for fifth. And they ended up 6 on a coin flip. So we're doing pretty good. I wanted to invite you guys all out to our second round playoffs. It's going to be out in Wilmington. On Saturday, our super lights play at 10 o'clock, and our JV team plays at 1 o'clock. And then on Sunday, also in Wilmington, our lightweights play at 11:30, and our varsity plays at 2:30. The address for that is 745 Whittle Drive in Wilmington, Illinois. And hopefully we get on and go to Mantino for the third round. I will be posting our schedules and stuff on our website at maverickfootballcheer.com. And if we're in that, I would welcome you guys out to those too. And then from there we go to the Super Bowl down in Bradley. I also would like to invite you guys out to the cheerleaders competition out in Reed Custer at Reed Custer High School. And that is on October 25th. It's a Sunday, and it starts at 10 a.m. The address for the high school is 249 Comet Drive in Braywood, Illinois. I know last year you guys sponsored us and you sponsored our travel team. Our travel team also will be going out to Crown Point in November 14th and 15th for a tournament, and they're also going down to Tennessee November 20th and through the 22nd. And then we'll see where we go from there. But those are just regular tournaments. Just giving you guys some updates. I also want to thank you guys for your sponsorship this year, and I bring another flag for you guys.
Oh, thank you very much. Great. We're hanging on our trophy board over there.
Yeah, the addition over there, we need a bigger wall.
Can you go up?
You don't think so? I'll try it.
Y'all can go up.
Well, make copy.
Oh, sure.
Is it possible to take a picture?
Yeah, you said that website was maverickfootballshare.com.
Yes.
Very nice.
Take a group picture?
You want to take a picture of, yeah.
Possibly get in our newsletter.
You want to do that?
Okay.
Can we put it in the newsletter? The newsletter is going to press it tomorrow, so,
Good time.
all right, why don't we take a quick picture?
You want me to take it and email it to you real quick?
We'll look at our camera.
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, do you want to get your camera?
She's gonna look, she's
I'll
gonna,
take down email to her.
yeah.
Gonna be you?
No.
I can do it, I'm gonna take a picture. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's take a little group picture here. We'll let James get the flag.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, we both can do it.
We'll let him hand us the flag, kind of get in a little bit. We can kind of, you can kind of be handing us the flag here, right? Can you get us all?
Yes, I can.
All right.
And one more. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just personally would like to say, I really commend you, Chad, for an outstanding job with the football team and the organization. I know it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, so it just says a lot about you and your staff. So keep up the good work, keep it up. You make the township proud. I'm sure the village of Monee. I was hoping when you list all those places that are going to play and the cheerleaders are going to participate, that Monee was part of it, but it's like, okay, we just continue to go south all the way to Tennessee.
We hosted the Super Bowl last year in Monee.
Okay.
And it goes basically up for bid every year. And the village, where we play, they own the property, and they were talking about redoing the field.
Okay.
So I couldn't put my name in for any of the bids to do anything there, especially for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
The first, second, and third round of the playoffs requires 2 football fields,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have official second football field.
Mm.
The village has a master plan that they were talking about doing, whether it goes through or not, and then I would get a second football field, and then I would be able to host more items like different playoffs other than the Super Bowl.
Mm.
I only can do the Super Bowl because you only use one field to print out that day. All the other days, there's multiple fields going.
Have you ever reached out to any neighboring community, like University Park, as well as the school district?
The school district, we've reached out to a few times to
Okay.
talk to, and I mean, we hosted the cheer competition, would have been 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the school district wanted to charge us, I believe at that time was $9,000 to host cheer competition.
Okay.
We ended up going through Lincoln Way School District and getting Lincoln Way North on Harlem Avenue there for $3,000.
Okay. Why don't you-
And even at that point, we lost money
Really?
posting it. 'Cause-
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Why don't you revisit that,
Yeah.
talk to me, send me an email on the school board website.
Okay.
Just send me an email, and, because I know we're looking to be more favorable towards the community to mitigate some of the costs and things we're looking at, okay? So we're just in the infancy of that process, but if you come in on the ground floor, but we can talk about it. So
Okay.
definitely
Sounds
come,
good.
bring you to our finance committee meeting, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
Yeah, go online, get my email.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Good practice.
Good night.
Okay, let's move into supervisor's report. General assistant, we had 9 intakes, 2 applications, 0 flat grant, 0 other aids, 16 came in for pantry, 0 denied, 2 pending, 0 terminated. We have 8 on general assistance. We spent a total of $2,960 for the period of September 10th through October 8th. The seniors are having a Halloween party October 28th here at the Township Building. And that's our next, and then after that, we are working on getting the University Park Golf Course for the holiday brunch that the seniors put on. And that's still work in progress, right? Okay. Having a hard time getting hold of them. I guess that's basically everything. Clerk's report.
So the only thing I have was file the 2015 fiscal year annual finance report with the clerk's office from last week.
Thank you. David is having surgery tomorrow, so he sent us his report. He said the highway commissioner, October 15th meeting, replaced culverts on Highland Avenue, rebuild driveway culvert on Roberts Ridge Road, Monee Township roads, met with county pertaining to the motor fuel mileage tax certifying roads, received biannual report on bridge condition of Monee Township, still studying the report, paved Egyptian Trail and Timber Lane East, project cost less than the bid received. Fire department, Carolyn Island, called me to repair potholes on Timber Lane West. I told them that it's not a township road and we have no jurisdiction or insurance on this road. David Deutsch. Okay. All right, assessor's not here. Do you have anything?
No.
Going back to the assessor's report, I just wanted to say I did touch base with Mayor Covington of the Village of University Park. And right now, the Village of University Park is having some severe problems. And she said, do not worry about anything at all, because it is so far down the list that we're not going to worry about it. But what I've asked Joe to do is if he would get the contract that we have and do like they did the last time, which was send it in for renewal, since it actually did expire, and see what they come back with. And then it would be, you know, if they agree to renew it, then it'll be on the next board, it'll be on the November meeting for us to approve. Sound okay to everybody?
Joe, can we get some verbiage in the contract for renewal that basically says that if we go for 1 year, I guess, or 3 years?
No, we go for 5.
Or we go for 5 years, but even that, where this contract stays in force until its renewal, something to that effect, so we,
Might say that, right?
yeah, something
It
like
may
that.
say that already.
Okay.
I'll look, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Excuse me.
What about, is there a clause in there about advance notification?
Yeah,
In case they don't
they have to give us 60 days on anything they do.
Is
in
that,
writing.
is that enough? 60
Well-
days? I mean, I would think 90 would be more.
Well, we can see what they say, 60 or
I mean,
90.
60 days, you talking about moving a major office of the township. You know, if all it is 90, 60-day notification, should be at least 90, in my opinion.
Well, we can make that change, but put a feeler out to them, and if they come back and say, okay, then that's something we can put on, you know, the agenda to vote on the next time.
What's the board's feeling as to who I should direct that to?
The acting, or the interim village manager's name is Joanna Townsend. And so I would direct this to actually Mayor Covington, Vivian Covington, and to also to the village manager, Joanna.
I would CC it to, I would send it to the acting village manager, Joanna Townsend, but I would CC it to,
Yes.
to the mayor.
What's going on with Boba?
She got, the mayor fired her.
Well,
We'll have a discussion later. Okay, let's work into the Will Ride program. We're supposed to have a dollar amount on that, but we did not receive the money, the bill on this. So I guess we will have 2 bills next month. So it's a good thing the county has big pockets, because they don't need our money right now. So let's go into line item transfers. Oh, I'm sorry, they gave agreement, yeah, I'm sorry, agreement. I'm thinking that we thought we had to pay, but we have an agreement. This is the standard agreement that we've had every year. All they're doing is updating it, so that it runs October 1st, 2015 through 10/31/2016. It's the very same thing, our contract to them, and then they've enclosed their contract, that copy of what they have with the RTA and PACE and that, so. But it's the same. You didn't see any differences or anything, Joe?
No, I didn't see any differences. In the past, we've talked about, you know, the right to terminate if you wanted to. There's a provision in it at 17.1.
Right, and we've agreed that that was okay.
Part of the right to terminate it on 60 days notice.
Mhm.
You know, the term is, as you stated, there's a provision for indemnification if there'd be any injuries or damages that occurs, the sponsor, which is us, will indemnify the county. So I would just say that I think we should make sure that, you know, Torm is aware of the agreement, so that'd be our insurance. In case there's any issue ever, somebody gets hurt or some damages.
So we'll just send a copy of this to Torma.
So they don't have the obligations out there.
Just send a copy of this, once we've approved the new contract, then let's just send a copy of it to Torma with everything else.
Okay.
But other than that, it's
Just standard like it's been,
same as
just
that.
updating it. All right, is there a motion to approve the IGA Mobility Management Agreement between Monee, Pace, and Will County? Between Monee and Will County, actually.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by James. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
Supervisor Downer.
Yes. And I'll need 2 clean copies, she says, 2 copies, and sign and return them, both of them. And as soon as they have the Will County Board approval, then Walsh will sign them and return one of the copies to us.
Okay.
Okay. At the point that it's returned to us is when you can then send that copy to the...
Yeah, that's what I put down.
Okay, next we have line item transfers. We have, Sandra had 2. First one was the line item 5195 contingencies, $500 to 5112, which is the internet. And the second one is 5110, telephone, $99 to line item 5112 again, which is the internet. So total transferred into the internet account is $599. I need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Terry. Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Young.
Yes.
Supervisor Downer.
Yes. And the next one is the general town budget, moving from 5046 professional fees, $1,000 to 5112, which is the internet web services. Is there a motion to approve?
Oh, so moved.
James, and then Terry, second? Okay. Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll.
Is this the same service?
No, we use 2 different providers. Sandra uses different people for hers. We use our WK. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
Supervisor Downer.
Yes. Old business, the TOI conference.
You forgot
Is
that.
that
We got
is that
another
another
one.
one or for assessment?
4,000.
Payroll,
It was inside the packet.
That was another.
It was mailed with the packet.
That was the one that was in the packet. So there's she didn't choose the same one?
No.
That's the
I
difference.
thought she had just added on.
No,
I
she
didn't even
didn't.
look at them. Okay. Yeah, all right, then she's another assessor item from 5,000 payroll, number 5,000 payroll, $4,000 to going 50/60 training. Sandra is doing a management training course, so she is enrolled in her budget. So, is there a motion to approve?
She's doing a what?
Management training class over the
Over where?
internet, I think.
Well, she was mentioning that last week.
Yeah, I know, she mentioned something about that last time.
Right, and it's,
So she's taking it online?
yeah,
What school?
I think it's University of Phoenix from what I saw in the bill that I paid. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Maurice. Can I get a second, please?
second.
Second by Karen. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Young,
Abstain.
Supervisor Downer.
I'll say yes. Though I am asking Willa to please ask Sandra that on the completion of the course, I'm sure they must have to give a certificate of some kind, that she do copy us on a certificate so that we have it for our records and for the auditor.
Or maybe a description of this.
Well, it's usually when you get a class completion, you get some type of certificate.
Did you get a description before you sign up?
She probably had all that.
I'm saying-
She doesn't have to come to me for that. She, you know, that's up to her to decide that that's her as a manager, she felt she needed the course. All I want is for the auditor's records is a copy of the completion certificate, so that we've got it for the auditors, so that we know everything was, up on our board.
Yeah, I would think that this would be job related.
Well, it's like it was to her job. She
Well,
figures
that's what I'm saying.
she needs management skills, maybe here wants to add to her management skills. So I don't think we really had a policy on educational policies, but we've been pretty loose as a township on, on that type of a thing. So I guess you could say since she's managing a bunch of people that it is related.
Well,
If we
When
don't
we
have
get-
a policy, I think we need to get one that says that all training will be job related.
didn't we
If we don't
address the issue of training in that new personnel council? Did we? Do you know? Did we address the issue of training in that?
I don't believe
I
there
don't
is
think
in
there was
there.
anything in there, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
I don't remember it. And
Then I think we need to, at some point in the future, develop one, because if she's transferring this kind of money into the account and she's taking management course, I don't have a problem with it, I mean, if it's job related. If it's related to a job as an assessor, or the people that's working for her, I don't have a problem with it. But I think at this point, we need to clarify what it's all about. I remember her mentioning the last time we was here, that she was taking management classes.
But as a manager, if she's trying to improve her skills, that to me would be job related, don't you think so?
But.
Depending upon the classes
But
she's
to
taking.
take the gray area out of this whole conversation, we need to just ensure that we have a policy or something that drives us that says all training will constitute job, has to relate to our position.
But the other thing is that personnel does not govern management. That is only for employees. It does not have to do anything with, she is not an employee, she's an elected official. That is,
We using township funds to pay for some
I
training.
understand that, but I'm saying we have a personnel manager, policy for employees, not for elected officials.
So, I'm not sure I understand.
What I'm saying is that,
So you're saying that this is not warranted?
no, I'm not saying it's not warranted. I think that she feels she needs better skills, and that's up to her to decide that as the person who's in charge of the assessor's office, or the assessor. So I'm just saying that, just for covering our bases, all we need is for something from the auditor saying the class is completed. So that money in, or we saw that money was,
And again, I don't have a problem with it, if, as long as it's job related and it's related to her job as an assessor. And again, to echo what Margie said, take the gray area out of it, I think by you requesting the documents it will indicate that it's job related to her position as assessor.
But if we just approve it, and if it's not, so what do we do then? And the course is already paid for.
Well, of course, it's not paid for.
But I'm saying we approve
I
for money.
saw in here that she got,
And so do we pay for it after she gives us the document? Or-
no.
And that's what I'm saying.
that would,
No,
That's
and
what I'm
you have
saying.
to assume that, and you guys, it's like this, we cannot micromanage, and Marisa said that many times.
Sure.
Is that we have to assume that Sandra, as assessor, is filling a need for a management course that she feels she needs to manage her employees. I just don't see how we could prove one way or the other that it was, I mean, yes, she might be able to use it other places, but yes, it's probably for her management in the assessor's office. I don't think we can second guess that.
well, Donna, let me, I seem to recall that we had a conversation before at this board meeting about the expenditures of funds and how it was gonna hold people accountable. Okay, and I was looking through this, bills payable. I saw a reimbursement for the assessor office at $1,300. Okay? Now, I'm wondering, why is $1,300 of reimbursements going to the assessor?
Well, that's for the class. The class was, and you see, and you have available anytime you want to come in before the board meeting and after the bills have been done and you've gotten your report to look at that. And here in the assessor's bills, you see that, and as I questioned that too, which is why I looked at it and know that it was the University of Phoenix and everything, is because in her bills, she does have the check going to her, which is what made me bring back, the auditor's gonna want something on this, which is why I'm going to ask for a completion certificate.
Okay,
Just
I don't have a
because,
problem with that.
you know, and it says, you know, because she has that, it was $1,110 for the course, and course material was another $165 for a total of $1,275, and she put it on her credit card
And
apparently.
then we asked her to stop doing
We have asked her,
that. We have asked her to stop doing it. Now, the other thing is this, what's the name of the course?
let's see,
Again, it sounds as if we don't have a policy on training reimbursement.
it just says management, it just
Oh,
says
you
the
know
name
what,
of the course.
again, I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna leave it alone. First of all, we reinventing the wheel again, because we've asked her not to do this, not to use your personal charge card to pay for township-related business. We've asked her to stop doing that. The second thing is that I would like to know what course she's taking for $1,300, or whatever course she's gonna be taking, that's related to her job as assessor, of which she's asking the township to pay for. And I think that's a legitimate question, legitimate request. That's where I stand on it.
And Joe, would it be you or Donna to just kind of do a little research on that? Do we have a policy? And if we not, then we need to draft it.
We do not have a policy, and it's a policy because we would have to do a resolution as a board, because it has to do with elected officials. We have a policy that's for employees that work for the village, but we don't have a policy on, you know, that would be something that we would have to develop for, and to say that, you know, if any elected official deems it important to take a class, but then now, as I said, you're micromanaging, because, you know, David has his own budget and you know, attend different things and different conferences, and, you know, and I agree that I think that we need to have something for the auditor, which is my concern on
You know,
that.
it's kind of, you're kind of getting into a hazy area. The educational is one issue, but if you recall, over the years, we've had some other issues, not necessarily with this assessor, but we had issues about purchasing furniture.
Absolutely, yes.
And, you know, who has the right to decide what she needs? And what an elected official needs. And there's some limits as to what this board can do there's always limits, obviously, but when an elected official says that they need this in order to properly operate their office, whether it's a desk or whether it's educational training, I don't know if this board can necessarily deny them something that they feel they need to operate the office.
So it's a moot point. I mean, if that being the case, it's a moot point. How you
And there's limits, obviously. Somebody can't walk in on some kind of really ridiculous.
Which is why they had the lawsuit against Garfield, because she had some ridiculous expenses, so.
I mean, if they sign up to go to Northwestern University for a semester or something, well, I mean, there's a limit, obviously. But, you know, it's a little bit of a hazy area getting into it.
Big space there.
Well, I never said that I was opposed to the training. I never said that. I'm in favor if she believes she needs some management push. I was here when she mentioned it last time. I just asked for it identified, that's all. I'm just asking for transparency.
Yeah, well, I think maybe a combination of what you're asking for. The supervisor is asking for a certificate to show that she's completed the course. And I think it probably would not be a bad idea to have something, I don't know who brought it up, something that actually says,
It's just a
well,
program towards.
something, right. There's probably some kind of brochure or thing.
So,
A description of
That you put with the certificate so that the record, and I think that would probably make the auditor
so
probably.
that'll be just for the record, because basically we're just saying our boundaries as a board when it comes to the assessor, basically saying this is what I need to do my job. what recourse do we have as a board? We pretty much have to take hands off, it sounds like, and
Some
that
degree.
hat.
To some
Because
degree, yes.
it's in her budget.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we,
Okay.
got there, we approved her budget, and she's been in a budget line, and she's just asked for a transfer to that budget
Yeah.
line, she
And I
has to
don't
do it
have a
within her
problem with
budget.
that, so, we're consistent with that method, that's fine.
Because you get to another issue, as an elected official, I mean, if, let's say you have an elected official who is spending too much money or wasting money, well, they have to go to the ballot box. They get voted on.
Mhm.
That's, one of the things that, since they're an elected official, they can be elected out, they can be, not elected because they're not.
Not using whatever, doing things
Right, not operating the
inappropriately in the public eye.
Right, so I mean, that's why you get into that kind of issue.
So, both sides, but, so I hear that we're not gonna even look to see if we have any policy, because it might not be applicable to us being elected officials, more for employees. So I guess it's a moot point. So we have to, I understand, is trust her judgment, trust David's judgment as well.
David doesn't use his personal charge card. to
No,
charge
that's
training.
not even, I'm not looking at the charge card issue, I'm just looking at what they feel they need to function in their job, to better function in their job.
I don't have a problem with it, I just like to know what it is. Okay, management course could be anything. I never said I was opposed to it, I just like to
So
know
that's
what
just
it
for your
is.
record, because I'm saying if it comes back that it's not something that you,
I don't make that
No.
decision, she makes it.
okay, so it's just for your record then, I guess, is that what you're saying?
Well, I think that it's a legitimate question because you've asked for township funds to be used to pay for it.
Mhm.
And I'm just simply asking for transparency. Management course could be anything.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, and this is it, I'm gonna end it for me here, is if it's found that it's not, and I'll use the board as an example, that it's not something that the board feel is not an appropriate course, where do we go from here?
That's a decision individual board members gotta make. I'm gonna make mine, and I'll let it be clear what my position is.
I'm just gonna say, I'm not happy with that class with that amount of money, but as I said, I do firmly believe that we have passed the the assessor's budget. The assessor's budget, she has an education line in there, and I think it's up to her to decide if she has the budget to pay for that class, and she apparently feels she needs it, I don't think I cannot, say, hey, no, you don't need that, or no, you have to, she's the only one that can determine that. And, but I agree that, we do need accountability, which for me is that she has to have a completion certificate. And the other thing is that along with asking for upon completion, we could also just, send her a note and say that we were just kind of interested and that we would like to know a little bit more about the criteria of the course, or
Description of
I mean,
class.
even going that far, who says she has to give us a completion certificate? So what can we do on that? We can ask.
we can ask. Well, I think legally we really need that, because this is on her own credit card. Say if she would drop out of that course after 2 classes and are asked to be reimbursed, whatever she didn't take it at all, and then we would not know that. So
She can bring in the portion of what she had paid for and say she want to get reimbursed. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
no, but I'm just saying
Where do we go from there?
Yeah, so I'm just saying that and that's why I'm asking for the completion, because
I mean,
if
we can
it had been
ask, but-
done ahead of time
Yeah.
through the township check, that's different. But because it was done through a credit card and that could be reimbursed to a credit card, that's my reason for asking for a completion certificate, which I don't think is, and that's something the auditors are probably going to ask too, because they are very cautious about that type of thing. And
Yeah,
I know my auditors, that's one thing they're very
And
cautious
and
of.
again, I don't think there's anything wrong with you asking for that, and James asking this, but I'm saying, as Joe said, it's like, okay, she makes the choice on if she's gonna get provided for us, and I don't think there's much we can do if she chose to go the other direction. And I just feel that's a tough spot for us to be in. that's the rules of the road.
Well, we're not solving this tonight, so
No,
we might as well
I
move
agree.
on. All right, let's go back into old business. Did we vote on the
Yeah.
transfer? Yeah, we did, that was approved.
Did we go on the transfer?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
voted on
stay.
it, you voted on it before you.
Yeah, before.
For the discussion.
That was-
I remember saying abstain,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
we
got
got into a discussion, right?
Okay, we talked about the annual conference, and I'm having second thoughts about going, and, yeah, I think, at this point, so is Terry, so I doubt if any of us are going down.
I'm looking at this alleged.
Right. So even though I do think it's an important year, nobody's gotten hold of the budget, and they haven't, I don't think they have the budget solved by that time. So that was my reason for really wanting to go, to see what changes would be needed, but I don't think it's gonna be completed. So I think that, at this point in time, none of us is going unless Terry changes her mind, so. Okay, the newsletter deadline is, well, tomorrow morning, because it's going to press tomorrow. So I hope everybody hopefully got theirs in. Unfortunately, we did have to put a little notice in on the newsletter, just saying that at this time, GSU is on hold because we never did hear back. But let's move into the reports, and we can talk a little bit more about the
Probably gonna hear from
committee.
us after the.
I did send a note to Dean Jennings,
Yeah, let's talk about that then.
and then after
we
that,
there?
yes, we're there.
Oh.
I sent a note to Dean Jennings, and then I, waited, and I got no answer, and then we followed up with him again yesterday, or the day before, Tuesday, I think, and said, could you please reply, and he never replied anyway. So unless you've heard from him, Maurice?
No, I called a couple times. I called as recent as today, went there a couple times and
Are there
left
some
messages.
changes maybe? Staff changes?
They're not answering.
Is he the one actually making the decisions, or
Right.
somebody
Say
above
maybe
him?
somebody-
His program, isn't
He's
it?
making the decisions?
He's
Yeah.
Well,
programmed.
you know what, last year we didn't hear from him after basketball season was over.
Yeah, we didn't start till like March, so.
It was February, I think it was late February.
But that's just bad. It's just a big communication gap.
Yeah, I mean, and you've spent a lot of time trying to get hold of him.
Yeah.
We've spent time, sending him
I'm
notes.
getting a lot of calls.
So there's, unless you
That's the
want,
only exercise I get once a year, so I can feel it too, but I'm not getting it.
so now we're also in October, and I think that it's now getting almost too late to try to plan for anything else at this
At
point
least
in time.
this,
So,
maybe,
as now you're running into November and
Yeah.
Christmas, and it just is too much. So you're gonna have to see and make some decisions, maybe as get your youth committee together, and if you can't get hold of him, maybe decide if you want to see about renting space at a school. But see, then you have the problem on a Sunday night. I did see that like University Park and other groups have rented like the middle school or, other schools. And, but they're during the week when they do have custodians, in the schools, cleaning. But when you do it on a Sunday, you're having to bring somebody in, and I'm wondering if that just would be way too costly.
No, we're not. I mean, right now, we are in a process, and I think I was just telling the young man, the football organization, Monee, we are in the process to make it more accommodating for nonprofit organizations to host different things that they're not looking to obtain a profit from, that we would not be charging those fees, exorbitant fees, such as he was talking about. So we are in the infancy of talking about that. So this is good, But it may be an opportunity, a limited opportunity. I'll even look into that.
All right.
Okay.
The only problem is that it is limiting. I mean,
It
you
is.
can have the
It is
basketball,
basketball, that's about it.
that's about it. You can have some of for the younger kids, you've got some board games and crafts,
You may
but
have
that's it.
volleyball,
There's
yes.
not much there. It's not like GSU. So
Right.
that's the best facility around for everybody, so it's just a shame
Oh,
that,
we can put a nice volleyball net in here.
unfortunately, we start packing and sorting food pretty soon for
Knocking over canned goods.
right, yeah, we don't even let the Pinnacle group come in during November and December, because, there's just no room.
Well, I'm pretty emotional about this, and it's touched me very sensitive part of my heart too. not continue this on. It's been, what, 6 years almost, maybe? About 6 years, and I think it has grown exponentially to the fact that people really enjoy it, and it's done a lot for a lot of kids.
School got my hands tied this year. You know, it's an evaluation year.
Well, that's
Eliminate that position.
And that's the other thing,
No,
volunteers are.
Terry really stepped up to the plate and said she would work overtime to support the cause.
Just waiting for you
Well,
to get to
just-
play.
see, well, and even I heard from Bobby as well, so that's all right. So I'm like,
All right, well, you up and running.
so we just need a facility.
That's it.
All righty, well, anything on more on going green?
Going blue.
All right, let's do trustee audit of accounts. Start it down this way, talking about, what am I showing on it? Talking about September 18th through October 15th, total amount of, there's a mistake on this, by the way. I'm showing, did you see that, Willa?
Right.
Where it's showing, I think the total value is $187,909.99. But when you're totaling it over, it's showing a value and not showing an actual dollar amount. But I know it just transfers over because there's
Yeah.
nothing in the mean column. So it's $187,919.99. That does need to.
Oh, you probably overextended numbers. I didn't notice that. Thank you.
Okay,
Now, who does this for us? Willa?
Willa does this.
So are you CT bookkeeping time block? What is that?
You know what, CT Bookkeeping used to do bookkeeping here years ago, and they had allocated some time that we actually need to be taken up. I don't even know if they still in
Can
business.
you remove that? That's been 8 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, let's approve the trustee audit of accounts. Is there a motion to approve?
You said the total amount was what?
$187,919.99.
So moved.
By James. A second. Second by Terry. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Daniel?
Yes. Okay, any board comments?
I know Debbie lost like a father, like, person who was like a father to her. I think he passed away yesterday. Maybe it was so she had a death.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she's had a bad year. Starting from January 1. So anyway, I spoke to her.
Okay. You get a card too.
Yeah. Pretty good. Okay, then if there's no others, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Let me just take a step back. We having a groundbreaking ceremony for the addition of the middle school. It's going to be 2. I think one is going to be Monday, actually. And I think they're going to have limited dignitaries. And then I think we're going to have another one. I'm not sure what the date is.
What time?
I'm not sure. I just got a call maybe about 4:30 today
Okay.
and asked me was I available. I thought they said 10 o'clock.
10
In the
a.m.
morning?
Yeah, in the morning. I'm like, really?
Well, it's got to be.
Yeah, I had to take a heavy vacation.
10 o'clock.
to do that
Monday morning.
Monday. And
No, I mean, where,
it'd probably
Middle
be
school.
at
where are they going to be?
At the middle school?
the middle school. It's
In the middle school.
The addition. It's called a 6th grade edition, but it's not going to be just for the 6th graders. It's going to be for 6, 7, 8. So, you know what? If I can write a little column, I might try to do it tonight. Get it to
Hurry
you,
up.
and I'll pay for it. So that'll be an advertisement.
Okay.
So I'll work on it tonight.
Okay.
By noon or before?
Tomorrow by noon.
Okay. I'll write a little
You should
column.
have said tomorrow by 9.
Whatever you did.
No,
I used to come in at 11:59.
You know that's right. But I will be here.
But the man does come in and pick it up, so if it's not here,
You should have told him 9 o'clock, you know he coming in.
If it's not, if I don't have it in my, if it's not in my inbox,
Must
it
be out
won't
on
get to me.
live TV.
It's not here, we know.
I love you, brother. I
Must be
love
out
you.
on live TV.
I love you because you get us every time.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Terry,
Second.
second by Maurice. Roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Everett.
Yes. So with this meeting is
You
adjourned.
get that letter in the mail, man? You did, okay.
They did.
So she's been asking.